Hello, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today we are going to be doing another true crime video. And I was thinking that since we are in the month of November, I could try and find some Thanksgiving related true crime. I didn't think that I would be able to find any, but I found a few. So I thought that I would share them with you. Now the first one that I'm going to read to you, it's kind of a shorter true crime story. So I was thinking that I would read it much slower than I normally read my true crime stories. So yeah, I hope that that's okay. Maybe you'll find it more relaxing. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy it. So let's get started. It was Thanksgiving Day in 2012 when the murders of 18-year-old Haley Kiffer and her cousin, 17-year-old Nicholas Brady, occurred during a home invasion in Little Falls, Minnesota. 64-year-old Byron David Smith was a retired U.S. State Department security engineering officer. Byron lived alone, having never been married. In the months leading up to that fateful Thanksgiving Day in 2012, Byron claimed that his home had been repeatedly broken into about half a dozen times. Byron did report these break-ins and some of the items that had been stolen, including $4,000 in cash, his father's POW watch, coins from a collection, and a chainsaw. Because of the numerous break-ins, Byron began wearing a holster with a loaded gun inside his home. And he had even installed a security system complete with video cameras aimed at several areas around his home to protect himself. On November 22nd, 2012, Byron had been visiting with some neighbors when he saw Haley Kiffer driving past his home, who he had become suspicious of, believing that she had been the one robbing his home. Byron commented that he needed to get ready for her, and he returned home. Video from that day captured Byron moving his truck from the driveway to make it appear that he wasn't home. Byron then turned on a recording device he owned. He went down to his basement, removed the light bulbs from the ceiling fan, and positioned himself in a chair that was obscured from view. Armed with a rifle, he waited. Then, about an hour later, two teens, Haley Kiffer and Nicholas Brady, could be seen on video casing the home before entering. Byron then heard a window upstairs break as Nicholas Brady entered the home. This was also captured on audio. Byron then sat and waited in silence for 12 minutes. Then Nicholas began to descend into the basement. Byron shot Nicholas twice on the stairs and once more in the head after he fell to the bottom of the stairs. Byron then made taunting remarks to Nicholas's body as he wrapped him in a tarp and dragged him into another room. Several minutes later, Byron returned to his obscured chair, reloaded his gun, and waited. A few minutes later, Haley Kiffer entered the home and could be heard calling her cousin's name. As Haley made her way downstairs to the basement, Byron shot her. Wounded, Haley fell down the stairs, and Byron could be heard saying, "Oh, sorry about that." Haley cried out, "Oh my God," as Byron continued to shoot her several times in the midst of her screams. He repeatedly called her derogatory names, and then could be heard dragging her into another room, tossing her body onto her cousin's. Byron shot her one final time under the chin, killing her. After the killing, Byron could be heard saying, "I refuse to live in fear. I am not a bleeding heart liberal." Byron waited until the next day to notify the police of the shootings, claiming that he didn't want to bother the police on Thanksgiving Day. He later told the police, "I was doing my civil duty. I don't see them as human. I see them as vermin." On April 29th, 2014, Byron David Smith was found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder with premeditation and on 2 counts of second-degree murder after just 3 hours of deliberation. He was immediately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, isn't that story just messed up? I mean, and it happened on Thanksgiving Day. Like, it's just sad. But I understand wanting to protect your home from intruders and protect your things, but I think that he went way too far, and he could have done things differently. I mean, he waited in the basement for 12 minutes after he heard the glass breaking. If he would have called the police, they would have been there to have stopped it and arrested these teenagers. But I think that he may have gone a little crazy. And like he said, he didn't want to bother the police on Thanksgiving Day. Crazy. Now, that doesn't mean that I approve of these teenagers breaking into the home. I do believe that they deserve to have been punished, but not murdered, like arrested. That would have been what needed to be done. But anyway, I just thought that that was such an interesting, crazy story, and Thanksgiving related. Happened on Thanksgiving. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.